Welcome to this video. I recently traveled from India to Germany with my cat, and while I was preparing for this trip, I really wished I could find a detailed video of the full process for someone's first hand experience. So, I decided to make one myself just in case it can help anyone out there. So, in this video, I will take you through everything: the preparation work, the documents that you will need, and my actual travel experience. So the whole process you usually need to start at least 4 months before your trip. Now the first thing that you have to note is that the age of the kitten it should be at least 15 weeks. Now the first thing that you have to do is microchip your cat. And the microchip should be an ISO certified microchip and I've given the specifications in the screen. The next step is taking a rabies vaccination. Now, this is a tricky part because even if you have taken a vaccination maybe like 1 month prior, you have to retake the vaccine after microchipping. Only the rabies vaccination that you have taken after the microchipping is counted. So, the next one is the titer test. So, after your cat is microchipped and vaccinated, you'll need to wait at least 30 days before you do the titer test. If you're wondering what titer test is, it's a simple blood test that checks whether your cat has enough rabies antibodies. It basically confirms that the vaccine has done its job. Now, this test has to be done in a EU approved lab. So, when you talk to your pet, be very sure that you mention it's for international travel. Once the sample is sent, it usually takes around 1 month for the result to come back. Now, this is how a titrate test result look like. And just like it's mentioned, the test result should be more than zero point 0.5 IU per milliliter or equal to zero point 0.5. Most healthy vaccinated cat usually pass this without any problem, so you don't have to worry about that. If the results are fine, there is still another step. Your pet has to complete a 90 days quarantine period. Now, this 90 days start from the day the blood was drawn, not from the day you got the test result. I know these timelines can be a bit confusing, but following them correctly is very important because I've been there. So, the next step is booking your ticket. Now, here's the thing: every airline has their own rules when it comes to pet in cabin. For example, when I was doing my research, I found out that Qatar Airways doesn't allow Persian cats in cabin. So, yeah, always check the pet in cabin guidelines of the airline that you're choosing. I personally flew with Lufthansa from Bangalore to Berlin. So when you're booking your ticket, you usually see an option for pet in cabin. And to qualify the pet in cabin, the cat has to be under 8 kilo. And this 8 kilo is including the carrier that your cat is in. And after booking, you usually get the airline confirmation and make sure that you get the confirmation. And you can see the confirmation mail here that I got. And here you can see that they have mentioned the 8 kg limit and also the dimension of the bag that you have allowed to carry. Now you can keep the pet in your seat or in your lap. It's a strict rule. So your pet has to stay under the seat in front of you the whole flight. So the bag needs to fit there perfectly. I'll link the exact carrier bag that I used in the description so you can check it out if you need. It can be a bit uncomfortable for a long flight because the back take most of your leg room. Uh, but I can share something that I did for my flight. I'll share that towards the end of the video. One last thing. In the confirmation email, the airline will usually send you a pet form, and you'll need to print 2 copies of that and carry it with you. And this is strictly airline specific. Now, once you've got all these steps done, you're pretty much finished up with all the pre-process stuff. Now, let's talk about the travel documents. You'll want to start this part maybe like 2 weeks before your trip because the final travel health certificate is only valid for 10 days. In my case, I actually had a travel partner to handle this whole documentation part. So, to be really honest, I almost messed this part up, and by then it was too late for me to manage everything myself, and I already had so many things to prepare. So, I went with an agency. So, since I almost had to cancel bringing my cat, I didn't want this to happen to anyone else. So, please be prepared for this part. So, here's what you need to do. First, you have to fill in the EU health certificate. You can find this in their official site. I will link it in the description. And there is also a return declaration form. And my agent said it's not that mandatory, but I carried it anyways just in case. Now, here is a filled out form that I had for my travel. And yeah, like I mentioned, this was done by my agent. So you can just see all the columns that they have filled, and you can, do the same for your pet. And make sure that when you're filling out the form, you have to strike the parts that doesn't apply. You have to strike that parts away. Now, once the form is filled, the next step is to visit your vet. When you're visiting your vet, you have to get this EU health certificate signed and sealed. You can see here. So it's signed and sealed by the local vet. Then you have to collect your vaccination and microchip certificates. This is how it looks like. Also, if your cat needs any calming medication for the travel, this is a good time to get that too. Once all these things are ready, now you can move to the AQCS part. AQCS, or the Animal Quarantine and Certification Service, they are the one that need to provide the health certificate, the actual health certificate that you need for the travel. So my nearest AQCS office was in Bangalore. So you can mail your nearest AQCS office and book for your appointment. So I initially mailed them and telling my travel date and everything, and they replied me with this mail. You can see they're asking me to mail all the documents that I have prepared. So they will review it. Anything else is needed, they will let you know, and they will tell you a time and a date that you need to visit there personally. To be really honest, I'm not sure how easy or difficult this is to do on your own, because agents usually have their own way of getting things processed quickly. So, but if you're doing this yourself, here's what happens at the EQCS office. First of all, you have to take your cat, you have to carry a printed clear photo of your pet, also all the original documents that you have mailed them. Once you reach there, this is what happens. They'll scan your cat's microchip to confirm it matches with the documents. They'll also check all the paperwork and make sure everything is in order. And after that, they'll sign and seal all the pages of the EU health certificate. They'll also sign and seal the photo of your pet. Then finally, they will handle you the official health certificate. And this is the key document that actually allows your pet to travel to EU. Now, this is the exact order that you have to place the documents. First, the health certificate that was issued by the AQCS, the printed and sealed photo of your pet, the EU health certificate, then the vaccination certificate, the microchip certificate, then a copy of all the pages of your vaccination book, the titer test certificate, the declaration form, and finally, any airline specific forms if that applies. You have to take two copies of all this except the photo of your pet. Make two complete bundles in the same order I just listed. And when you travel, you have to carry this original set and two copy set with you. Now, this original set is just for you to keep safe, and you don't have to hand them over for anything. And whenever they are asking for documents, you just have to give them the copies.